What up guys, Ali here and welcome to Ali Talks Music. Add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music as well. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now let's get into the video. Now producers deserve a lot of respect. Not only do they shape the sound of music, but a lot of these producers be saving these rappers' careers. Worst of all, most of them did not get the credit that they deserve. Now before I started doing this whole YouTube thing, I'm talking way back, I used to make beats. And this is the type of situation that I'd find myself in. I used to spend the whole night making beats, making sure every sound was perfect, making sure I used the right VSTs, 808s, and so on. In an average night, I could probably produce about say 5 beats, and out of those 5 beats maybe like 1 or 2 will be hot. So if you think about it, by the end of the month I'm probably sitting on a lot of beats. I'm talking about at least 30 hot beats that are ready to be rapped over. However, despite all the work I was putting in, all the hours, all the sweat, blood and tears, I always encountered one particular problem, and that's rappers nowadays want free beats. When I was in the studio with rappers, I would play them a lot of my beats, and by the end of the night the rapper would probably pick about 4 or 5 beats to rap on. However, problems always arose when we started talking about the price. I wanted to be compensated for my hard work, while they were trying to find a way to get the beat for free. Now the reason why most rappers expected to get free beats from me was because most producers nowadays are practically giving their beats away. A lot of these rappers would do anything to get their song on the radio, so they'll work with an artist for free, hoping that somehow that song will blow up and put the spotlight on their work. However, most of the time what happens is the rapper blows up, gets his name out there, starts doing TV interviews, he gets signed, and before you know it, he has become this huge entity, whereas the producer is just one of many producers on that album or mixtape. Sometimes there are so many producers on an album or mixtape that the rapper even forgets which producer they worked with. Now I don't know if you guys have seen this, but French Montana did an interview way back on The Breakfast Club. During that interview, French Montana started talking about Unforgettable, his hit single with Sway Lee. And when he started talking about production credits, he stumbled. I cannot make this up. The guy forgot the name of the producer that made one of the biggest hits in his career.
Who produced it? Kid Ben something. Can you give me his name?
How do you forget the man that's responsible for one of your biggest hits? Now when Sonny Digital heard about this, he immediately experienced contempt for French Montana, once tweeting, "See, this is what I'm talking about. How this producer gave him a smash and he doesn't even know him." This video proves my point about producers. Now this right here explains my point, which is producers nowadays are no longer respected. Now when I say this, there are obviously a few exceptions to the rule. Some producers like Metro Boomin, T-Minus, Murder Beats, Pharrell and so on. These producers are respected because they have proved themselves time and time again. But if you think about it, how many hot producers can you name in 30 seconds? I'm sure most of the public won't be able to put up 10 names, because for every Metro Boomin or Murder Beats, there are probably about 1,000 producers that are not getting enough credit. Now another reason why producers deserve the utmost respect is because, like I said earlier, they are truly saving the careers of a lot of these rappers. Like a lot of these rappers nowadays would sound terrible without an instrumental. Take a rapper like Smokepurpp for example. Now if you've listened to my channel for a while, I'm sure you know by now that I cannot stand these trash ass rappers. Music aside, I have no problem with them. Most of them are cool people, relatable, and so on. But if we're talking about their music, a rapper like Smokepurpp makes me wonder who actually listens to this type of music? Like who are these people that I'm not encountering in my life? Where are they? Now I won't lie, I fucks with that song Audi. That song is a banger. However, if you take the beat away from 90% of Smokepurpp's songs, his skill level becomes very apparent. And that's probably the reason why he sold 5,000 copies of his last album. Now I'm not just picking on Smokepurpp. Rappers like Lil Xan, Lil Pump, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Blueface, all of these rappers fall into that category. You know, if you take the beat away, it becomes apparent that nobody wants to hear that shit. Nobody. Now maybe I'm in the minority here, and maybe I'm just speaking for myself, because if I look at Smokepurpp's streaming numbers, the guy gets 3 million monthly listeners on Spotify. I mean, how? Who and where are these people that keep listening to Smokepurpp? I'm not picking on the guy. All I'm saying is his whole career was saved by hot beats. Many other rappers also share the same characteristic as well. Now T-Pain recently tweeted, "The producers are the ones that deserve all the clout because y'all really don't be liking these songs. Y'all really just like the beats. When you hear a certain producer's tag, you don't give a fuck who's on it because you know you're gonna like the beat. Give them their flowers for real." Now T-Pain is absolutely right here. Every time I hear the following tag, "If Young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you," I know the song is probably gonna bump in the whip, and come to this conclusion before I even listen to the entire song. So T-Pain is absolutely right here. Funny enough, this contradicts something that Russ said some time ago. Y'all remember that time when he blamed producers for the current state of hip-hop, saying that it's whack and producers were to blame? Russ was clearly on something that day.
It's the rapper's fault that his song sounds like everyone else's? What's he supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? You gotta start looking at the people who are making the music. The music is what this shit is built off of. You know what I'm saying? It comes down to the music. And the people who are responsible for making the music are the ones to blame.
Now if you think about it, when Russ said this, he was basically taking a shot at every producer that's out there, blaming them for the whack music that is coming out today, when in actual fact it's the other way around. Think about it this way, whack beats don't even make it to radio. I'll say it again, whack beats don't even make it to radio. Now like I said earlier, I used to make beats, so I know the difference between a really whack beat and one that just barely makes the bar. A whack one sounds like a bunch of noise with no direction. It's usually just a bunch of sounds that don't fit together well. Producers usually make beats like these when they're uninspired or when they're just starting out. But what usually happens is when a rapper gets to the studio, he goes through all the beats that the producer has and eventually filters out the whack ones from the good ones. Some of these beat makers make about 10 beats a day, but out of those 10 beats, maybe 2 or 3 will pop or will get picked up by a rapper. The rest are usually trash. And what happens is those trash beats usually never come out. My point is, trash beats usually do not make it to the radio. However, trash raps are all over the place. So what does that tell you? I've heard people say that Soulja Boy's Crank That is a whack beat. Some people even say Lil Wayne's A Milli is whack. But the truth is they're not. They're just very simplistic. They still work though, because if you remove the acapella from both beats, the beat will still make you dance. Like I said earlier, whack beats don't make it to radio. Because if they can still make you move, think, nod your head or dance, then they work. In my opinion, producers' backs must be hurting from all the carrying they're doing. They're literally carrying the weight of hip-hop on their backs and not getting enough credit for it, because the truth is, in my opinion, there are just too many producers out there, and most of them are willing to give out their beats for free. In essence, producers do deserve more credit, but at the same time they need to realize that their time is valuable, and so is their product. Some of these beats could take anywhere from 5 minutes to days to make, so not getting compensation or credit for that is ridiculous. I've said it many times and I'll say it again, trash beats do not make the radio, but trash lyrics do. That's it for me, man. It's your boy Ali. Who are your favorite beat makers? Let me know down below. Catch you on the next one. Till next time, peace.